In the heart of Washington, D.C., within the historic confines of the Oval Office, an intense confrontation unfolded between two world leaders, U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Where President Trump has ordered a pause to all military aid to Ukraine.
President Trump posted this on social media.
This is how Donald Trump governs, and the key thing, certainly from this side of the Atlantic...
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
The air was thick with tension as they debated the future of Ukraine's vast mineral wealth.
I think Sarah is perhaps the top line
to come back to the table in gratitude, or someone else needs to.
Comes after Friday's contentious Oval Office exchange.
Trump's voice resonated with impatience. "We've poured billions into your defense against Russia. It's time for America to see some returns. Half of your mineral revenues should be directed to a US-controlled fund until we recoup $500 billion. Zelensky, maintaining his composure, retorted, "Mr. President, while we value your support, such demands equate to selling Ukraine's sovereignty. Our nation cannot accept terms that undermine our independence." The room fell silent, the gravity of the impasse evident. News outlets swiftly captured the fallout. US-Ukraine resource deal in jeopardy. America's strategic interests in Ukraine's minerals questioned. This confrontation underscores a critical reality. The conflict in Ukraine transcends conventional warfare. Beneath the surface lies a high-stakes geopolitical struggle centered on resources, influence, and global power dynamics. Ukraine, often dubbed the breadbasket of Europe for its fertile lands, harbors more than just agricultural riches. Its subsoil is a treasure trove of minerals essential to modern technology and defense industries. Ukraine's mineral wealth is staggering. The nation boasts Europe's largest reserves of lithium, estimated at 500,000 tons, accounting for approximately 3% of global reserves. Lithium, a cornerstone for electric vehicle batteries and renewable energy storage, positions Ukraine as a potential key player in the global energy transition. Additionally, Ukraine possesses substantial deposits of titanium, graphite, and uranium. Titanium is vital for aerospace and defense applications due to its strength and lightweight. Graphite is essential for batteries and lubricants, while uranium is crucial for nuclear energy. These resources are indispensable for manufacturing semiconductors, batteries, and advanced defense systems. However, the exploitation of these minerals faces significant challenges. Many deposits remain untapped, requiring substantial investment and infrastructure development. Moreover, portions of these resources are located in regions currently under Russian occupation, complicating extraction efforts. The global context further amplifies Ukraine's significance. China currently dominates the rare earth elements market, controlling about 80% of the world's supply. This monopoly has prompted the United States and its allies to seek alternative sources to reduce dependency and enhance supply chain security. Ukraine's rich mineral reserves present a viable alternative, potentially reshaping global supply chains and altering geopolitical alliances. In 2025, the United States and Ukraine engaged in negotiations to grant American companies exclusive access to these critical resources. The proposed agreement involved creating a reconstruction investment fund, with Ukraine contributing 50% of revenues from state-owned natural resources, including lithium, cobalt, oil, and natural gas. In return, the US would provide continued military support and economic investment. However, the deal lacked explicit security guarantees for Ukraine, a point of contention for Ukrainian leadership. The strategic calculus in Washington viewed this economic entanglement as an indirect security assurance. By intertwining Ukraine's economy with that of the United States, any future aggression from Russia would not only threaten Ukraine, but also directly impact American economic interests. This interconnectedness was envisioned as a deterrent, signaling to Russia that further incursions would provoke a robust US response. The geopolitical chessboard is further complicated by Russia's current control. over key resource-rich areas in eastern Ukraine. President Vladimir Putin's strategic maneuvers aim to maintain and expand this control, thereby strengthening Russia's leverage in global markets for these critical minerals. This occupation not only deprives Ukraine of vital economic assets, but also serves as a bargaining chip in international negotiations. In this intricate web of resource diplomacy, the stakes are monumental. The outcome of these negotiations and conflicts will not only determine Ukraine's sovereignty and economic future, but also reshape global alliances and the balance of power in critical technology sectors. The world watches closely as this geopolitical poker game over resources unfolds, understanding that the ramifications extend far beyond the borders of Ukraine. President Trump's foreign policy in his second term has been characterized by a pronounced America First approach, emphasizing economic leverage over traditional military interventions. This strategy seeks to safeguard U.S. interests while minimizing direct involvement in overseas conflicts. The proposed resource deal with Ukraine exemplifies this doctrine, aiming to intertwine American economic interests with Ukraine's resource-rich sectors. By securing access to critical minerals, the U.S. not only ensures a steady supply for its industries, but also establishes a form of economic deterrence against potential aggressors. The underlying message is clear: any threat to Ukraine's resource sectors would directly impact American economic interests, thereby serving as a strategic buffer without the necessity of deploying U.S. troops. This economic-centric strategy also serves as a countermeasure against China's dominance in the rare earth elements market. By investing in Ukraine's mineral resources, the U.S. aims to diversify its supply chains, reducing dependence on Chinese exports. This move aligns with broader geopolitical objectives, positioning the U.S. to better compete in the global arena of critical technologies and defense systems. However, this approach is not without its challenges. Russia's control over parts of eastern Ukraine, rich in these very minerals, complicates the execution of the U.S.-Ukraine resource deal. President Putin's strategic maneuvers in these regions are not merely territorial, but are deeply intertwined with the control of valuable resources. This creates a complex scenario where economic interests, national sovereignty, and global power dynamics intersect. The success of this strategy hinges on the effective implementation of the resource deal and the stabilization of Ukraine's political landscape. For Ukraine, aligning with U.S. economic interests offers a pathway to modernization and integration into Western markets. For the U.S., it solidifies a strategic foothold in Eastern Europe, countering both Russian and Chinese influences. Yet, the volatility of the region necessitates careful navigation, as missteps could escalate tensions or lead to unintended economic repercussions. In essence, the resource deal represents a paradigm shift in how geopolitical power can be exercised. By leveraging economic partnerships and resource dependencies, nations can create deterrence and alliances that were traditionally achieved through military might. The unfolding dynamics in Ukraine will serve as a litmus test for this strategy, offering insights into the efficacy of economic statecraft in contemporary international relations. The geopolitical landscape surrounding Ukraine's mineral wealth has reached a critical juncture, with recent developments shedding light on the intricate dynamics between the United States, Ukraine, and Russia. In February 2025, the United States and Ukraine announced a framework agreement aimed at jointly developing Ukraine's natural resources, including rare earth elements, oil, and gas. This agreement was seen as a strategic move by Kiev to secure sustained U.S. interest and support amidst ongoing conflicts with Russia. The proposed agreement outlined the creation of a reconstruction investment fund, co-owned and managed by both nations. Ukraine would contribute 50% of its future revenues from government-owned natural resource assets to this fund, with the United States providing long-term financial commitments to bolster Ukraine's economic stability. However, a notable omission in the agreement was the lack of explicit security guarantees for Ukraine, a point of contention for Ukrainian leadership. The culmination of these negotiations was anticipated during a meeting between President Trump and President Zelensky at the White House on February 28, 2025. However, the meeting devolved into a heated exchange, with President Trump accusing President Zelensky of undermining peace efforts and being ungrateful for U.S. support. This confrontation led to the abrupt end of the meeting without the signing of the minerals deal, casting uncertainty over the future of U.S.-Ukraine relations. In the aftermath, President Zelensky sought to mend ties and secure support by engaging with European leaders. During a summit in London, he garnered backing from European allies who formed a coalition to support Ukrainian security. This coalition signifies a shift in the geopolitical landscape, with Europe poised to assume a more prominent role in Ukraine's defense and reconstruction efforts. The unfolding situation underscores the complexities of international diplomacy, where economic interests, national sovereignty, and global power dynamics intersect. The proposed U.S.-Ukraine minerals deal, while economically advantageous, highlights the challenges of aligning strategic interests without compromising national sovereignty. As Ukraine navigates its path forward, the balance between securing foreign investment and maintaining autonomy remains a delicate endeavor. In conclusion, the pursuit of Ukraine's mineral wealth has become a focal point in the broader geopolitical contest among global powers. The outcome of these negotiations and alliances will not only shape Ukraine's future, but also influence the strategic calculus of nations vying for economic and political influence in the region. The intricate dance of diplomacy continues, with the stakes higher than ever in this geopolitical poker game over resources. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into global events. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this geopolitical chess game?